sometimes there are things that you don't want to do, but you have to do it. And today I'm having to do that. I have to clean my space up. My entire crochet space is starting to get away from me. I need to rein it in, organize it. I also need to plan out my week. I need to go through my whips and determine if they are going to be frogs or finish. I'm not going to be finishing any projects though today. I'm going to be saving that for a whole other video, but just to go ahead and get it organized and figure out what's going to be kept and what's not, you know, that'll be very helpful to get the space cleaned up a little bit. And then of course, winding yarn and whatever else I can manage to come up with, that's what I will be doing in today's video. So let me go ahead, share the before, no judging, okay? I do have children. I am a very busy person. I am trying my best. It's also been way worse in here, but it also could be better. So here is the before. Now that you have seen what the space looks like, I am going to start by cleaning up. I want to make sure I get this taken care of because then I feel like my mind will be a little bit more clear, a little bit more organized as well, so I can effectively plan and do whatever else that I need to do. So let's go ahead, start cleaning up. The desk is now organized. I'm going to go ahead and start organizing this organizer here. I did start organizing it and I was like, wait a minute, I gotta film this. So I do have some yarn that needs to be put up. I've got some more yarn here that needs to be put away as well. And then this is scrap yarn that I set aside for my fingerless gloves. And I still haven't made that fingerless glove from like my Scrap Yarn Saturday video from like a couple weeks ago. So this also needs to be put to the side, but as a whip. And then I also have this whip here. I honestly don't even know if I want to finish it, to be honest. Like, I don't know. It's the bucket hat that I was trying to make a heart design out of. I might just save that for next year. I don't know. That's a decision for later. I've got my jellyfish here that I would like to hang up, but I don't want to do that today. I don't want to do it right now. So we're just going to throw that over there. And then I've got some yarn that needs to be put up as well. So I'm just moving it as of now because I'll put it over where it needs to go in a second. And then cardigans are good as they are. So that's cleared out. Empty space. I like to use these spaces for when I'm filming videos and like I need to move my yarn from place to place. I'm going to keep the whips out though because I am going to go through all the whips and determine if it's going to be a frog and finish. So I'll keep those out. The yarn I'll put back. Since I am right here, I am going to go ahead and go through this bag, see what other yarn needs to be put away, what projects need to be put up. I need to change the scrap bucket out for this one. It broke, unfortunately. So sad. And then I just need to put this one away. Oh, there's a cord. What is this for? I don't know. Well, we're going to put that there for now. But I do need to put this bucket up. Just put it up here, call it a day. And I also need to move the scrap yarn out of this. Actually, I shouldn't have put that up because I wanted to go through the scrap yarn bucket because I have chenille yarn and I wanted to put the chenille scraps in the green bucket, put all the tiny itty bitty scraps into this bucket here where I have my polyfill. I need to take the trash out. Don't mind that. I'm going to, at the end, once I get all the trash collected, which it's not even that much trash around here because I've already done that, so maybe I could just go ahead and throw it away. Anyways, I need to move my sweater, put that up, fold it, but I have polyfill and like random yarn scraps and whatnot, so I'll probably move all of this stuff in here to in there, because why not? It makes sense in my brain, so I'll do that. But I think first what I want to do is switch this out, go through this, and then I'll do all the rest of the stuff. Just dump it all in there. Hopefully it doesn't all fall out, because then I'm just going to vacuum it. Okay. And I plan on using that for like stuffing, maybe for like a pillow or something. I don't want to use it for a plushie because the plushies need to keep their shape. But maybe something like a pillow or something where I don't have to keep its shape, you know, would be good. I don't know. But that is done and organized over there. I literally have a whole basket of just really tiny scraps. But I do want to do a video too where maybe I'll pull from the scraps and use that. There goes the bucket. I'm going to go ahead and switch out these buckets. This did break here, unfortunately, and not just here, okay? It also broke here. So I'm going to switch it out to this one, which I don't use as much, but these are all of my granny squares, and I do also consider this as a whip. I just haven't put them all together, number one. Number two, I would have to make some more to keep going with my scrap yarn blanket. So I need to make sure that the scrap yarn blanket granny square is on the wheel every week, so if I do get it, then I'm able to actually work on it, because I think I took it off. I'm gonna have to look at that, but that's for a later date. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the squares out, and I just have a bunch of random little squares. Now I have some heart squares too, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. A couple of them are different, some of them are together. This was for a project that I made for a friend. I made her a cardigan out of granny squares. Don't ever want to do that again. Although I'm pretty sure it's on the scrap yarn list. So that's fun. Oh, what is this? An unfinished square. Okay. Gonna move all those. Gonna move all of those. And then I'm just gonna dump the yarn in here because it's just easy. And yeah, I'm just gonna dump it. Okay, that is switched out, so I'm going to put this back up here. Fabulous. And then I'm going to put the squares back. Were they? I think they were color organized, right? It looks like it. Okay. That one's done. Put that back up there. Alright, now the next spin that I'm going to fix is I'm going to put the chenille scrap yarn and bulky yarn in here. That's scraps, because I would like to eventually add those to the mix as well for Scrap Yarn Saturdays. I just don't have enough right now. Although there are some skeins in here that are chenille yarn that I may be able to add to the chenille scrap yarn bucket or the velvet yarn or whatever it is. Because I have the new rule that it is considered a scrap if it is 30% or less of the original skein in grams. So I might have to weigh some. I'm not putting that in the green bucket. I'm taking these out of the blue to then get to the bulkier ones. So like this is a bulkier weight yarn. I'm going to put it in here. And then I have a bunch of chenille. Like just a bunch of chenille and velvet yarns I could make scrunchies with. I mean, there's all sorts of things I can make with them. There's this scrap. Yeah, we'll count that as a scrap, I guess. It's already in here, so I don't know if this is, yes, this is also a scrap. Probably should have wounded these up, but I'm not going to because they are scraps. So I will worry about that when I get closer to Scrap Yarn Saturday for next week, or actually this coming week. Basically, this video is kind of all over the place. This is just how I think when I am organizing stuff. It's a little bit all over the place. So now I have a little bit more room in the acrylic. The chenille, velvet, bulky, whatever type yarn that's just not a cotton or acrylic will go in here, so it'll be better to organize it, see it, grab it, all the things. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those back up here. is that organized right? Green, pink, blue, green, pink, blue. Yes. Oh, this is way heavier than I thought. Oh my goodness. What is in here? I don't even remember. I'm going to go ahead and go through the bag now. I know all of my ear warmers that I finished for my how many ear warmers can I make in 24 hours are in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. I'm pretty sure I need pictures of every single one of them. So I just need to make sure I get pictures of those for the drop, which is, by the way, this weekend. I don't know if I'm doing it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I really need to make that decision sooner than later, though. So, yeah. I need to figure that out because it's coming up very, very quickly. I think I'm pretty much ready to go product-wise because I have some items that are going to be in the drop that were in the January drop. I'm doing like a second chance type thing with those, or with some of them at least. So, there's that. Oh, I think this was the bag of items that I was deciding to put away and store away from my first drop. Okay. Along with the ear warmers. So, oh, they're falling. I'm going to probably put these behind me in the background on the shelf with all the other stuff so that way everything's all together. I've got my dad's beanie that I made him for Christmas that he accidentally left at my house. So that needs to go somewhere else so I don't accidentally mistaken it for an actual item to sell. Ear warmers, ear warmers, ear warmers. Oh, jeez, I made a lot. Oh boy, pictures is going to be so fun. Okay, so yarn that needs to be going back, yarn needs to go to back. I'm going to toss it back there for now. Hiya. There we go. Okay, and then the rest of the items are like the stuff that I had in my first drop. So like Mardi Gras items that I'm definitely not going to be able to sell until next season. So those are in here. I've got my plushies. I want to save those for in-person markets. I've got some Mardi Gras like wristlet keychains. I want to move those to a storage container as well for next season. So I also have a whip. This is the market bag that I was working on and I have not yet finished it. I've got to do the straps. So that needs to be completed before the drop because I want to have it ready to go for that. So that needs to be taken care of. The rest of the items though in here are items that, as I just mentioned, from the January drop. So I'm going to leave them in here until I get a container to store them in. I'm not going to be able to get the container today, but at some point this week I'll be able to do that. And that way I can put this bag up and it's not on the floor. So I'm going to put this to the side. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Do I want to go through the rest of my bags? I think I'm going to go ahead and go through all the bags. So if I have more yarn or more products that need to be put on the back shelf over here, then I can go ahead and do it all together. And then also determine if I have yarn that needs to be wounded up. All of that. Go ahead and do all that at once as well. Once I get yarn put over there, because I do know I have yarn on the shelf that needs to be caked up. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look at the bags and we're going to see what whips I have and if I'm going to keep or frog on. First bag here, I've got a scrap yarn cat ear beanie that was a fail that I want to change and fix. Carl did try it on. It does not fit him. So I don't know if I want to add more to it to make it a bigger bag or if I want to add more to make it a laptop sleeve. Or if I just want to go ahead and add a strap to it because it's a shallow bag and I don't like my bags to be shallow. And I feel like it's going to stretch a lot. So it's a whip. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with it just yet. People have also suggested maybe decreasing or doing something like that to make it fit as a cat ear beanie. And then that way you can also roll it up. I don't know. But I am going to keep it because I am going to do something with it. I have my QR code tapestry order that I've been working on. It's taken a hot minute to make this. I don't think tapestry is for me, but it might also be because it's in black and white. But this is definitely a whip that needs to be finished. It's just not going to be today, so I'm going to put that over there. And then I have a blanket for a buddy of ours, and the rest of it is the yarn that goes with the blanket, but it's a granny square blanket. So that is also a whip that needs to be finished, and I'm going to just keep that in there because it's all together. So I think everything that I just pulled out needs to go in there, and I'm going to put the other whips that I want to keep in here as well because I've already been pulling from this. Like, I've been constantly pulling this project out of the bed to work on it, so I'm going to put all the projects that I need to work on in here. That way I know these are the keep ones. So I'm going to put this one to the side and move on to the next bag. Here's the next bag. This one has my wisteria flowers in it, which, by the way, I don't even know how many I have. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do I really only have 10? No, I thought I had like 12. Oh, 11. Is there any more? Nope, looks like there are no more. So this is going to go in the whip bag to keep. I am actively working on this. I'm going to probably work on it again soon because I do want to do a whip video and that be one of the projects. I do also have this messenger bag, and someone made the suggestion when I showed this the first time that I could turn this into a like placemat, a hot pad, something like that. And I think that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to take apart the panels here, and I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to use those as a hot pad moving forward. As for the brown portion, I'm going to go ahead and frog the yarn, take it back up, and put it back in my stash. I can reuse that. I don't know what I would do with a small strip of yarn, like, or not yarn, but a small strip of a panel like this, because I don't have anything that's that small that I could use like as a hot pad. So I'll go ahead and frog that. I need to frog this panel as well, and as well as this one. So I guess it's a whole bunch of brown yarn back in my stash that I can use, which is great. And then this is also my son's baby blanket. I need to take the squares apart, look at, like, because I have them somewhat connected, right? Like this is what it's looking like. I need to take them apart, get them back to being individual squares. I need to roll it because there is hair all over it, and because it's been sitting for almost 2 years now, which is insanity. I think this is my oldest whip. I think the rest of the squares though are fine, and I would be able to fix the squares. And so it begins, the clips that I recorded in slow motion, but as you can see I have sped it up so that way it's not in slow motion. However, because it was recorded in slow motion, there is no audio, so I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover for y'all and explain what the thought process was for all of these whips here. So this project here was a bag that I was going to make for Valentine's Day. However, the cotton yarn really made my hands hurt, and so in this clip I'm debating whether or not I'm going to frog it, keep it, and I ultimately decide to frog it because it did hurt my hands. So I'm going to be moving that to the frog pile, and I believe some of the yarn I will be able to use for scrap yarn. I think that's what I was talking about, to be completely honest. Not sure, but that's what we're going to go with here. The next item in this bag was the Bernat Velvet yarn that I used in a scrunchie video, I believe, but it was left in a tangle mess. Found a purple scrunchie. Need to finish that, so that's going to the finished pile. And oh, look, another one, but it's yellow. So that's also going into the finished pile. And I'm just pulling out the entire jumbled mess of Bernat Velvet yarn, and I'm going to cake it up. The next item in this bag was another white scrunchie, and this in fact is going into the finished pile. And then the next item that I have in there is another Bernat scrunchie. Oh my goodness, why do I have so many? I don't know. Next item is a bunch of yarn. This is the, I think, Angel Juicy Couture yarn. I could not remember for the life of me if that was what it's called. Still don't know if that's what it's called. And then here's another skein of jumbled mess yarn. This is the Nap Time yarn. I believe this is in the color navy. Let me tell you, that's a pain in the butt to cake up. And then the item here is a Christmas mesh market bag. Gonna put that with the items that I need to put away. Next item is this skein of yarn. I have no idea what color it is. It's an interesting color though. It's like black, brown, white mixed all together. Haven't used it, don't know what I used it for. The next item is a bunch of yarn labels, which cool. Don't know why I have those still. And then this is a tote bag that I was making with the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. And because I was so far into this bag, I was debating on whether or not to frog it or finish it. But the problem is that it was not wide enough. Enough. And so I ultimately decided to frog it because the problem that I also noticed with this is that the two yarns that I used for this bag were two different dye lots, and it is blatantly clear that the blues are a little bit different, and that bothered me. So this ended up being part of the frog pile. The last item here is the Heart Valentine's Day bucket hat that I was trying to make my own pattern with, and I was debating on whether or not to keep it or frog it, and I ultimately decided to go ahead and frog it because I just do not have the time to work on this currently. And I just honestly didn't want to keep working on it. I didn't want to finish it. And I would rather revisit this next year around Valentine's Day, maybe around Christmas time, so it's ready to go for Valentine's Day. So this ended up in the frog pile. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm talking about here, but we're going to go ahead and make some assumptions. I think I was talking about the game plan for after going through all of my whips and debating on whether or not to organize the yarn on the shelves or to go ahead and cake up all the yarn from the frogged whips. And I ultimately decided to go ahead and cake the yarn from all the frogged whips. And that's what the next clips are after this. All of them are just me caking up yarn and questioning my life choices and wondering why it took me 4 hours to do it. And boy, did I struggle. So I hope y'all enjoy the little montage time lapse that I made for y'all. And I'm back with a voiceover because this was still recorded in slow motion. So here I am talking about my game plan for organizing the yarn and probably expressing my frustration of having to cake yarn and it taking me 4 hours for some odd reason. And yeah, that's pretty much what I was probably talking about, I think, I assume. And then here's me taking a drink of my coffee but missing my mouth completely and hoping that no one notices, which is why I made that look. But the next couple of clips are me organizing my yarn, so hope y'all enjoy that. Just kidding, not organizing the yarn yet. I am talking about what I am going to be doing with all of the yarn and how I'm going to organize it. So the yarn on the top shelf there that I'm pointing at, it's going to go onto the bottom shelf. I want to get all the yarn into the shelves so the shelves are more organized and my background looks nice and neat rather than chaotic mess like it tends to be in my own brain sometimes. And basically I'm going to grab any skeins that need to be caked up, any skeins that may be able to be moved to the scrap yarn bin, that's where I'm going to put them. But yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about here. I assume, I can't remember. But the next couple clips are me organizing the yarn and I hope you enjoy them now. Here I am organizing my ear warmers in no particular order, honestly. I'm just moving them over here to the shelves next to the other items that I have for my job. I figured it would be nice to have everything together in one place. That way it's one, nice for the background. Two, I know exactly where everything is, and if I need to grab it, I am able to do so easily. I just got done planning out my week. I kind of showed a little bit of it on how I plan. Nothing super specific really, it's just me writing my planner, but I kind of will go through what I do for planning. Basically, I plan out what my videos are going to be for the month, and then each week I confirm what videos are going to be happening that week. Sometimes they get changed, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what's going on that week, not just with YouTube, but also what's going on in our personal lives and things like that. So I get the videos planned for the week, and then from there I kind of fill in where I'm going to be editing, filming, doing the thumbnails, things of that nature. And then I also, at the beginning of the month, plan when I'm going to do my drop. However, this month was a little bit different. I was having to wait till this week to figure out when I'm going to do my drop, since I have a hair appointment on Saturday. So my drop is going to be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on February 28th instead of at noon. Once I get that figured out, then I go in and fill in the stuff for my drop, right? So when am I going to take pictures? When am I going to do listings? When am I going to make the announcement post and all those things? So that's pretty much what I do for planning out my weeks. Sometimes it's pretty much the same week after week. Sometimes it vastly changes, but it really just depends on what's going on. Now that the planning is all figured out and said and done, I am going to go ahead and give y'all the final review of what the office is looking like. It's a lot better. I went ahead and took out the trash. I went ahead and vacuumed. I wiped down things. We're doing a lot better now, okay? So let me go ahead, play that clip for y'all now. I'm pretty happy with how everything is looking at the moment. Of course, I might make some tweaks and changes, and I do have a couple things left to do, like winding up some skeins of yarn, but I'm not messing with those because they were a pain in the butt to do in the beginning. So that's going to be saved for another time. But if you like this video, be sure to check out the video that is here or here. I don't know which side of the screen it is on. It's similar to this, and it kind of goes through the process of how I got my room set up to the way it is now. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already. And I will see y'all in my next video on Thursday. Bye!